They sat at that glass door for 211 mornings, rain or frost, 6:15 exactly. The tabby on the left, the black and white one on the right. Neither of them moved until 7. Claire thought it was a habit, something they had picked up at the shelter. Cats are strange. Cats love their routines. But no animal holds a routine for 211 days over nothing. And when a woman in a soaked raincoat finally knocked on Claire's door and told her the truth, Claire had to sit down on the kitchen floor, because it was never the door they were waiting for. Their names were Juniper and Otis. Juniper was long-haired, brown and cream, with a white chest and a tail like a feather duster. Otis was a tuxedo, black cap, white gloves, a smudge of white across his mouth like he had been caught drinking milk. They came from a house 4 streets over, a small brick house with a back porch and a wet garden. That house belonged to a man named Walter Hale. Walter was 78 years old. He worked nights mopping floors at the county hospital because his pension was not enough and because sitting still made him ache. He left the house at 9 every evening, and he came home at 6:15 every morning. Not through the front, Walter always came through the back, through the sliding glass door off the porch, because he did not want to track the hospital in with him. Juniper had lived with him for 6 years. She was his cat before she was anyone's cat. Otis showed up in a storm, just walked onto that porch one October night, soaked to the bone, and refused to leave. Walter fed him once. That was all it took. He was not a friendly cat. He hissed at the mailman, he hid whenever the doorbell rang, but he followed Juniper room to room like a shadow with white gloves on. By spring, the 2 cats slept curled into the same shape on the same chair. Then, on a Thursday in February, Walter did not come home at 6:15. He had a heart attack in the hospital parking lot at the end of his shift. The building was full of doctors. It did not matter. The neighbors found the cats 3 days later, still sitting by that glass door, still waiting. The shelter took them both, and this is where the story almost ended. 2 adult cats, bonded pair. Nobody separates a bonded pair, so nobody could take just one. And one of them was black. 51 days went by. Families walked in, cooed at the kittens, glanced at cage 11, and kept walking. A volunteer wrote it plainly on the file. Difficult placement, older, bonded, dark coat. On day 31, a family came in and fell in love with Juniper. They filled out the paperwork. They asked if the black one could stay behind. The director explained the rule. The family thought about it for a long minute, then they put the pen down and left. Twice, the director talked about splitting them up herself. Twice, she looked at how Otis pressed his body against the bars whenever Juniper was carried out of the room, and she closed the folder again. On day 52, Claire came in looking for 1 cat. She left with 2. She was 44, divorced, 1 year out, a house that echoed. She told herself she wanted company, and she got more company than she bargained for. The ritual started the very first morning. 6:15, both cats at the glass door in the kitchen, sitting perfectly straight, staring out at the wet garden. Not scratching, not crying, just watching. Claire found it sweet at first. Then she found it strange. Then she found it unbearable. She asked the vet about it. He shrugged and said cats keep schedules better than people do. She tried closing the kitchen door one night, and Otis screamed until 2 in the morning. Not a meow, a raw, cracked, almost human sound. She never closed it again. She tried other things. She bought a heated bed and put it in the sunniest corner. She opened a can of tuna at 6:14, right behind them, and neither cat turned around. She even hung a curtain over the glass. Juniper sat in front of the curtain instead.
Some mornings, Juniper would not eat afterward, and on the mornings Juniper did not eat, Otis would not eat either. He would sit beside her full bowl and wait, like it would be rude to start without her. Claire started setting her alarm for 6:10, just to be there. If you are still with me at this point in their story, thank you. Stories like this are exactly why this channel exists. Take 1 second and hit subscribe so the next one finds you too. Day 211 was a Tuesday. It had been raining since midnight. Claire was standing at the counter with her coffee, watching them, when someone knocked at the front door. It was an older woman in a raincoat, holding a cardboard box against her chest. Her name was Doris. She had lived next to Walter Hale for 19 years, and she was moving moving to her daughter's place at the end of the month. She had found the box in her garage while packing. "These were his," she said. "I heard you took the cats." Claire brought her into the kitchen. Doris saw the two of them at the glass door and stopped walking. Her hand went to her mouth. "Oh," she said quietly, "they still do it." And then she told Claire the truth, that Walter came home at 6:15 every single morning through the back glass door, that Juniper had waited at that door for him her entire life, before the light came up, before the kettle went on, that the door was not a door to her, it was the sound of him coming back. Then Doris said the part that broke Claire open. But the black one never met Walter's schedule, she said. Otis came to that house in October. Walter was already retired by then. He hadn't worked a night shift in 2 years. Claire did not understand. Otis wasn't waiting for Walter, Doris said. He never was. He was sitting there because she was. 211 mornings, 6:15, a cat waiting for a man who was gone, and beside her, a cat waiting for absolutely nothing at all, except her. Claire thought about the 51 days in that shelter, about the family who put the pen down, about how close someone had come to pulling those two apart over a coat color. Doris opened the box. Inside was a folded flannel coat, dark green, worn thin at the elbows, and it still smelled like a house 4 streets over. Claire laid it on the kitchen floor, right beside the glass door. Juniper walked over and pushed her face into it. Then she lay down on it and did not get up for 6 hours. Otis lay down beside her. The next morning at 6:15, Claire stood in the kitchen doorway with her heart in her throat. Neither of them went to the door. They stayed on the coat. Claire sat down on the floor beside them and cried quietly. Some love ends when the person does, and some love just changes shape and keeps standing in the same spot, hoping. We call it habit because habit is easier to explain. It is easier than admitting that a small animal understood loss before we did and grieved it longer than we thought possible. If you were thinking about adopting, please look at the older ones, the bonded pairs, the dark ones nobody photographs. They are not difficult. They are loyal. And loyalty always looks like a problem until you understand what it is pointed at. Juniper is 11 now. Otis is 9. The coat still lives by that glass door, and both of them still sleep on it. So tell me honestly, was Juniper waiting for Walter or was Otis waiting for Juniper? Which one hurts more? Let me know in the comments.